Hey guys, Richard Blaine here, Mr. Easy Cooking. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. Hey Riley. Tonight I'm going back to making some Italian food. I've been making a lot of Asian food lately, Malaysian, Thai, by request. And tonight I'm going to be making Italian food by request, but I'm not going to be making the typical kind of Italian food I usually make. I got an email from a viewer that said, how's about making a gluten-free vegetarian Italian dish that everyone can enjoy? And I thought to myself, oh my God, I've never done that before. Although to tell you the truth, lately I have been experimenting with gluten-free pasta. My mother is getting off the white flour kick, and technically I'm not gluten-free, but I don't eat bread made with white flour. I prefer corn tortillas or sprouted bread. The only form of white flour that I eat is basically my pasta. So I was contacted by a viewer, said, let's see if you can make a gluten-free, vegetarian, Italian pasta dish that everyone would love and would taste great. And so I did a little research, and I found some pasta made with brown rice, so it's gluten-free. And I found a vegetarian alternative to Italian sausage. So tonight I'm going to be making pasta, okay, with artichoke hearts and Italian sausage topped with gorgonzola cheese. It's going to be gluten-free. It's going to be vegetarian. It's going to be delicious. I want to thank you for stopping by. Let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. The first order of business is we need to brown up some sausage. Okay, this here is meatless Italian sausage. There are many brands on the market. I'm not going to specify what brand this is because I'm not advertising for them. Okay, but this is a meatless Italian sausage, and I've got about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3, of olive oil in this 5.5 quart Dutch. Okay, and I've got it on a high heat. And I'm going to brown this sausage on all sides and then remove it and add the next stage of ingredients. I just want you guys to see that this meatless sausage has browned up famously, as would any good Italian sausage. If you can see, it's quite brown, quite golden, okay? And there's a little bit of fond at the bottom of the pan, okay? So I'm going to give it about another 2 minutes, and then we're going to go for the onions and mushrooms. Okay, here are the mushrooms and the onions that I'm going to sweat down in a little bit of oil. Okay, I added just a touch of water to deglaze the fond from the sausage. Since this is vegetarian, I couldn't use stock. So I have these mushrooms and onions on high heat, and I want to sweat them down. I blanched the mushrooms for about 3 minutes prior to adding them to this because, as everyone knows, mushrooms are like sponges and they'll suck up every last vestige of oil in the pan. So I blanched them to put some water content in them, and then I put them with the onions and in the oil, and what will happen is the mushrooms won't suck up all the oil, but the mushrooms will actually brown a lot better after blanch than if you didn't blanch them at all. So I've got this on high heat. I'm looking at about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to add some garlic, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, the mushrooms and onions have been cooking long enough. In goes the garlic, okay? And I'm just going to saute this around until the garlic softens up. I don't want the garlic to brown. I just want it to soften up with the onions and the mushrooms. And then we're going to move on to the next step. Oh God, it smells so good in here, it's ridiculous. All right, everybody, it's getting time to add the tomatoes to the pan to make the sauce. And this week I'm using a brand of tomatoes called De Fratelli, okay? De Fratelli from the Herzl Farms of Toledo, Ohio. The Herzl family has been farming in Toledo, Ohio, okay, since about 1923, canning organic vegetables and tomato products since about 1923, okay? They've been doing organic long before the word organic ever entered our lexicon for diets, okay? There's nothing in here, there we go, except organic products. Tomatoes, a little sugar, a little salt, a little citric acid. It's all organic, no preservatives, okay, right from America. Now, usually I use a lot of imported tomatoes from other countries, Italy, Greece, but you know what? Here in America, we have excellent tomatoes too. And the Herzl family has been making excellent canned tomatoes since 1923. So if you've never tried Di Fratelli, which means of the brothers, you need to try to find this product and try it in your next pasta dish or any other dish that requires tomatoes. But this is what I'm going to be using. Let's move on, and I'll see you on the next step. All right. This, what I have in here, is a 28-ounce can of Di Fratelli plum tomatoes. Okay, and I am crushing them up with the spoon. Okay, I'm crushing them up with the spoon. And after I crush these up, and they break down a little bit, I'm going to add another 28-ounce can of Di Fratelli tomato sauce with tomatoes, herbs, and olive oil. Pretty much a marinara in the can. I have this on high as I crush these tomatoes up. They will break down with the garlic, the onions, the mushrooms. I'm not going to add any salt. There was plenty of salt in that sausage and plenty of spice in the sausage. Okay? I'm not even going to have to add sugar because there's a little bit of sugar in the Di Fratelli canned tomatoes and tomato sauce to cut the acid. Okay? In the end, you can adjust the flavor the way you like it. Okay? If you want to add a little sugar, add a little sugar. All right, here we are. I'm going to bring this up to a rolling simmer and break these plums down even further. And then I'm going to add that other can of tomato sauce, and we'll be rolling along. This tomato sauce has been on a high simmer for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to add another 28-ounce can of Di Fratelli tomatoes with herbs and olive oil. Oh, this is going to be lovely. This is going to be lovely. And I'm going to let this simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then move on to the next step of adding some herbs to it. All right. The sauce has been simmering for about 10 or 15 minutes. And to it, I am going to add about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now, in some cases, you can toast up the tomato paste for some sauces, but for this, it's really not necessary. So here we go, about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to incorporate that into this sauce. I'm going to let it simmer about another 10 or 15 minutes. There we go, get it off there. I'm going to simmer this up for about another 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to add some additional herbs and spices. Come on. And then we're going to be on our way. The sauce has been simmering for about 10 minutes. I'm going to have to add some water to it. It's getting pretty thick. Okay, but before I do, I'm going to add some herbs and spices. I'm going to add some water after because I want it to simmer for about 30 minutes or so before I put it onto the pasta. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put some crushed oregano in there. Crush it between my fingers. There we go. Get those oils to release. Crushed oregano. A little dried basil. And maybe about a teaspoon and a half. About a teaspoon and a half. And some rosemary. About a teaspoon. Whole. All right. I'm going to get this in there. And I'm going to lower the heat. And I'm going to allow this to simmer for about 30 more minutes. It's getting a little thick. I don't want it quite that thick. So I'm going to add some good clean water. I would add meat stock, but we're going for gluten-free and vegetarian. So I can't add meat stock, which is what I would do usually. Okay? There we go. That's about the consistency that I want, right there. Oh, those herbs and spices just smell delicious. I can't wait, because we're going to top this bad boy with Gorgonzola cheese once it's done. So I am going to let this sauce simmer for about another 30 or so minutes. And in that time, I'll cook up some pasta, and then we'll plate up, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, this here sauce has been simmering now for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to add the artichoke hearts. There we go. About 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of artichoke hearts. And I'm going to spread them out. There we go. And I'm going to let this sauce simmer again for about another 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to reintroduce the meatless sausage back into the sauce to get some of the flavors. And in that meantime, I'm going to cook up some gluten-free pasta. So hang on tight. All right. In goes gluten-free pasta. This here is brown rice pasta. Okay. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes to cook. Okay. You want it al dente. The gluten-free pastas cook a little bit differently than white flour pasta, so you have to watch it. The instructions for this pasta say 7 to 10 minutes, so I am going to stand here and make sure it is 7 to 10 minutes and cooked al dente, because the gluten-free pastas can be a little bit tricky. You don't want to overcook them. They'll get a little bit mushy, okay? But for the most part, if you do it right, you will not know the difference between white flour-based pasta and gluten-free pasta. I've been experimenting with corn pasta, this brown rice pasta, brown rice with quinoa pasta, all kinds of different gluten-free pastas, and you just have to be careful of the way you cook them. So I'm going to let this go 7 to 10 minutes, and then it's going to be time to strain it and plate up. While the pasta's cooking, there's about 3 to 4 minutes left. I'm going to add to the sauce the browned meatless sausage. All right. And the spices that were used to make this meatless sausage will just enhance this tomato sauce. They were browned very well. Oh, look at all those artichoke hearts. Quartered artichoke hearts, plum tomato, meatless sausage. This is going to be a sauce just chock full of goodness. Here we go. All right. So for the last 3-4 minutes before the pasta cooks, I'm going to repatriate the sausage into the sauce, let it simmer and disperse some of its flavor, and we'll be plating up pretty quick. Okay guys, there it is. Okay, gluten-free vegetarian pasta with Italian sausage and artichokes, okay? Meatless Italian sausage, artichokes, and Gorgonzola cheese. It's gluten-free, it's vegetarian, it's delicious. I'm glad you stopped by to watch this video. I hope you make this recipe. It is delicious, and I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Hey guys, I want to thank you for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. Straighten up that mustache. I hope you enjoyed this gluten-free vegetarian pasta recipe as much as I have, and I hope you make it, because it really is delicious. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care.